The USCIS questionnaire and the civics test, the oral test, has in it one of these things. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? And then it lists out 6 different things: freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of worship, the right to bear arms. Now, this has been around for a decade on it. I'd love to see freedom of worship actually shift to freedom of religion. Oh. We in the United States actually have freedom of religion, not freedom of worship. Worship confines you to a location. Freedom of religion, we have the right to express. We have this unique ability in America not to say that our government limits us to worship in this spot and you can do anything you want. It's to be able to live your faith. That's something that's, again, that's previous conversations on it, but love for you to be able to take a look at that again.
U.S. Senator James Lankford, Republican Oklahoma, a key member of the House Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, announced that the Department of Homeland Security was changing one of the questions on the citizenship exam. The announcement is the culmination of nearly a year of working with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Division. At issue was a segment of the exam study guide that suggested the First Amendment protects the citizen's right to freedom of worship, rather than freedom of religion. Lankford, who is co-chairman of the Congressional Prayer Caucus and the first senator to join it, first learned of the incorrect wording in June of last year, which prompted a letter to CIS Director Leon Rodriguez. Lankford explained his issue with the wording in his announcement applauding the change. At first glance, it appears like a small matter, but it is actually an important distinction for the Constitution and the First Amendment. The freedom of religion language reflects our right to live a life of faith at all times, while the freedom of worship reflects a right simply confined to a particular space and location. In a letter sent to Lankford's office, Rodriguez explained the reversal, saying that upon further consideration, CIS determined the change could be made because it didn't involve adding or deleting content. Approximately 40 web-based and printed materials will be changed as a result of the decision. In accordance with agency policy, if the applicant's answer to a civics question is an alternative phrasing of a correct answer, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services officers will continue to accept both freedom of religion and freedom of worship as correct answers to question 51 when administering the naturalization exam, Rodriguez wrote. Question 51 reads, "What are two rights of everyone living in the United States?" The study guide originally offered the following correct answers: freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of worship, the right to bear arms. The study materials will now read freedom of religion as the correct response. Based on reprinting schedules, they expect all materials to be updated by the end of 2016.
What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms. What are two rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom to petition the government, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms.